All right, everyone. Donald Trump has preemptively rejected the Democrats' budget proposal because it contains nothing in the way of wall funding. By the way, if I sound a little bit congested right now, I am still getting over that sickness. I feel fine otherwise, but it's kind of trying to move into my lungs, so I might be clearing my throat a little bit. Maybe talking will help clear it out, and then, drink beer and stuff. I support this as far as Trump telling him basically to piss off. Basically, it's not going to happen. Don't even bother putting it before my desk. Now, this is possibly to preempt some of the Republicans there from making the argument that they should put it forward and then negotiate later, because we've seen this. The Republicans, especially in the Senate, are reluctant, it seems, to take up parts of Trump's agenda. Certainly, border security is not something that the average Republican politician wants any more than the average Democrat, because they want slave labor for their CEO buddies. Here's the thing, though. Trump realizes that. He realizes Jeff Flake might be gone, but Mitt Romney's there. He's got plenty of adversaries within his own House and Senate, within the ranks of his own so-called party that he was never really part of until the last half decade or so. He was a Democrat pretty much before that. He's looking at it and saying, well, if I wait, they're going to tell me, hey, don't worry, the budget shutdown scares us. We might get blamed by some people for it, so just pass this continuing resolution and then we will negotiate. But the thing is, the whole idea of Pelosi and of the Never Trumpers is to never actually hold that negotiation. They'll continue the budget, they'll pass a temporary budget, keep going for 6 months or whatever. They'll get to that point, they'll say, no, we're not giving you your wall, and then it'll happen again. They'll do another continuing resolution. It'll happen again. They're hoping to just stall it out and never have it happen because they don't want a border wall. They don't want border defenses. They're like, oh, there's already a fence there. Yes, it's so formidable. A fence, it cannot be climbed. Oh my God. It's like it's a really, really big expenditure for a country that spends hundreds of billions a year just bombing people. It's a huge expenditure to give them $5 billion to shore up some parts of our own border in a defensive manner to keep our agents on one side safe and hopefully dissuade other people from making a 1,000-mile trek to the border where they might get human trafficked or fucking killed anyway in order to get in illegally. I think that the border wall is an ethical idea. I think it is ethical because where do we be, in effect, at least in part, dissuading people from doing that? You get all these tales about, oh, this little kid walking 50 miles a day and all this stupid shit like that. Well, that wouldn't be happening if we did two simple things. Well, technically three. Build the border wall to dissuade people from doing that. Number two, pressure those countries to fix their fucking economies so hopefully people don't need to migrate. There's no need of it. It's socialism that's causing all the problems in Central America. Why don't we solve that problem, at least diplomatically? Number three, end the drug war. Because a lot of this is cartel-linked anyway. You think there aren't cartel members in with these poor, huddled masses? The Democrats are crazy if they think that there aren't, and they're going to be the ones that get the blame the second that someone came here as part of one of these migrant groups. They get in, they get asylum, whatever, and then they behead someone. They're the ones that get the blame. Trump will sit there, trust me, Trump will tweet it out too. He'll make sure that it becomes headline news because the legacy media won't. Another reason that the left is so fixated on bashing the alt media is because we'll report on those things. CNN won't, MSNBC won't. They get dragged kicking and screaming to pertinent stories now because they're unwilling themselves to even talk about them. Why do you think they have a problem with alt media in the tech world? I support Trump totally on this. And there are plenty of things right now that I'm pissed off about with regards to Trump. For instance, he has so far not lifted a finger with regards to tech censorship. He pays lip service to it. He and Rand do mainly. Nobody's doing anything about it. They keep holding these hearings. They'll have Sundar or Jack Dorsey or something in to talk to Congress, usually not under oath. They sit there and they lie for an hour or two, and then they never have anyone to provide a counterpoint. Marco Rubio famously not even knowing who Alex Jones was, supposedly. I say supposedly because that's full of shit, but that's the claim he made. They're never going to have, they're not going to have PewDiePie in there to talk about tech censorship. And if they did, it would be something, all the senators would sit there chuckling and pretending like it was some sort of joke, because, oh, this is just a YouTuber or something. They don't know what they're talking about because they don't work directly for Google or Facebook or something. Zuckerberg coming out, I'll be talking about him separately and pledging more censorship in 2019. By the way, 2019 prediction, yeah, there's going to be more censorship. Because the whole thing is this. It's never going to stop with just, oh, this person's problematic. Oh, good, we got rid of them. We're one forever. No, they'll start grinding down the list until they get to a point where they can no longer justify it. As far as the border wall goes, I keep seeing all this weird polling. Have you noticed this? On the one hand, they're like, oh, well, the majority of Americans don't want the border wall to be built. And on the other hand, it's like, yes, the majority of Americans want immigration reform. Now, I look at that as a mixed proposal. Most Americans do support allowing amnesty for certain groups, like certain dreamers, people who fought in the military and stuff, otherwise non-violent, non-criminal individuals, in many cases brought here as little children. The problem is you cannot enact those policies with a straight face if you do not have a proper border defense system. Otherwise, you just incentivize other people to come in illegally and do the same thing. Wow, I come in illegally, I wait like, 5-10 years without a status. As long as I don't do anything else wrong, in 10 years I can get, citizenship. All I have to do is pay some back taxes and shit. Wow, that sounds pretty good. I think I'll take my chances because I don't have a job here in Honduras or something. There's nothing to dissuade them because there's no actual border wall in the way. There's, at most, a fence. Most parts of the border are not properly equipped to deal, especially with larger groups of people. It's not so much like in the past. I remember, 2000s and stuff. People were talking about, basically, a family was crossing in the middle of the night, jumping over the fence and stuff. The mother would swim across the river with 2 children on her back, sort of thing. A small group of people. We're looking at migrant caravans, called caravans for a reason, where you have thousands, maybe 10,000 people in a single group. It is much more difficult to stop that. Without using lethal force, once they get to the U.S. border, much more difficult. Now, Mexico could solve the problem. We could fund a wall on Mexico's southern border and take care of about half of the problem of illegal immigration in this country. I'm not sure that people understand that. That proposal's never been taken seriously. I think that Trump's idea is a fine one. Some people were... It was really funny to see the MAGA hat fans like, oh my god, he's talking about a glorified fence. No, he's talking about like a 25, 30-foot steel barrier topped with like 6 feet of plate armor, basically. Good luck getting over it. For the most part, people are going to find that kind of difficult. If you thought that we were going to build, a castle wall on the southern border, especially on the western side, which is earthquake prone, yeah, that'd be a wonderful idea. Maintaining that wouldn't be a problem. I guess the next possible solution is a Byzantine-style wall. Literally just a facade, a nice strong facade on either side, fill it in with rubble and shit. It's a lot cheaper. It's also more earthquake resistant. Yeah, you could build a Byzantine-style wall. Yeah, that would be a cool barrier. Or just a moat, whatever you have to do. But I think that the average person wants border security. Unfortunately, the Democrats don't want it, so they're trying to hold the budget over Trump's head, and it's like, I don't think that you're going to end up winning this long term. He's obviously shown a willingness to go up against his own party. What the hell are you going to do? That's about all. Peace out.